Welcome back to Over Dinner. What started out as conversations regarding relationships, parenting, personal development, and the human experience turned into this podcast.
Season 2.
Season 2. I'm Jarrod.
I'm Nikki.
Welcome back. We're really excited. We missed you guys. It's been about 6-7 weeks since our last episode. So we're excited to be back, share some things, continue to have the conversations that we've been having. And to start season 2, really just want to give you life update, what's been happening, what we've learned, challenges we've been through, and then really set up for season 2, some differences and some new things that we're going to be bringing to you guys that we're really excited about.
Yeah. I was just thinking about when I asked to take the break and how hesitant you were.
I was.
Yeah. Why were you hesitant?
I'm a big consistency guy in like habits. And I know just in personal experience, like what I've proven to myself is how I've gained more success, whether that's personally, physically, in work, is just routine and consistent habits over time. They compound to that. And so I was just kind of hesitant. And I also, someone who I knew who had a very successful podcast, his one piece of advice was consistency, right? And he's done it for I think 7 or 9 years and never missed a week. And so that stuck in my head a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually came to terms with it because there was a lot going on over that time period. I think we ended with a lot of change happening in our life. We were going to go on a trip. Just a lot of stuff was changing in our life and happening.
5 transitions.
Yeah, so it was a big transition time. And I knew we would always come back to it because how much we love this and how important it is to us. So I wasn't worried. And you've also seen a lot of other successful podcasts of people who do seasons, right? And they take breaks for a little bit. And I think it's okay because also we are talking about personal development on this and personal growth. I think rest and knowing when it's time to pause and slow down every once in a while is extremely important. So I was a little hesitant, but I think it was the right call. I think we're coming in refreshed, rejuvenated, and really excited to get back into it.
I mean, I totally respect that. I think it is really hard to take a break. And even coming back even though we love it, hasn't been the easiest thing. We've delayed it 2 weeks in terms of getting our recording going, because getting back into a habit that you have not practiced in a while, it does take effort.
Yeah, because you've already filled that time with other things. So whenever you're adding a new habit, it's not like you can add that on top of existing things. I always say you have to take something out to add something in. So we just had built up other things going on at night. And then when we tried to do this, it just seemed like those things kept coming up. It was just really hard. We kept pushing it. And then, but now we're here and we're recording. So the habit is started.
It started.
Okay, we have started the habit. And that's, hey, 1 week.
Yeah. And I think, now that we did do one whole season and, we see what goes into it. It's a lot. That I like having more of a season-based experience, because for me, our human designs are different.
Yep.
So you being a generator, you can sustain that energy. Me being a projector needs the space and time to be able to rejuvenate, to come back.
Yep.
I don't have the same bandwidth as you do. So, excuse me. So I think that it is really important, just as you said, to take a break.
Yeah.
And a break doesn't mean you're done. I do think it is challenging, though, for some of us. Like, for example, if there wasn't both of us in this and it was just one of us, how much harder is it for somebody to intrinsically motivate themselves to restart something that they took a break from?
No, really, it's got to be really hard.
It's really hard. Yeah. It's really hard to do that. So I understand like why not wanting to take a break, but
yeah.
You know what? Like, our situation in our life, that's what it calls for too.
Yeah. And I think you have to listen to those things too. And there's not one way to do everything.
No.
And you have to honor yourselves and what's going on around you. No, I think it was a good break. I think we needed it. And I think we're both ready and excited to get back into it, because I think we've learned a lot and a lot more to share.
Yeah.
So I think, when you start doing that, you're talking about these things, you're always trying to find things to talk about, but you continue to need more life experience and more things. So I think that gave us a little more opportunity to do that. I think we also wanted to really reflect back on what we learned and how we want to do this differently. We know, now we know we want to get ahead of things a little bit more as far as recording more. Like we were week to week to week to week, and that's stressful
Mm-hmm.
because it's a lot of pressure to get the thing done
Mm-hmm.
and to make sure you record, right? But if you have, and now I think we're going to be planning on recording more, having more um, time that we have multiple recordings. We can really get them right. We can feel good about them. We can prepare better for them.
I mean, we'll try.
We're gonna try. That's our
We're gonna
goal.
try.
That's
We're
our
gonna
goal. But I
try.
think it's good. We had time to reflect, learn. Is this, is our why still there? Why we want to do this? Are we connected to it? Because I think that's how we can provide the best content, the best information to people. And I think we need that little break just to rejuvenate. Because I think we both missed it. I think it just reminds us that we really enjoyed it. It was something we really looked forward to, and how
Mm-hmm.
energizing it was for us. So I think it was just a good time to be like, no, I miss it. I want to get back to it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
important to us. And us to have this time together is really important to both of us. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Cool. So want to give them just a couple life updates,
Sure.
things that have been happening in
Sure.
our world.
Pulling up my notes.
Pull up the note. That's okay.
So life updates. We'll keep this part brief.
Yeah. You guys don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. So as I said, we had like 5 transitions
Yep.
that happened that all had to do with school, travel, bunch of different things. But Jake is in pre-K 4 days a week now. And I know when we left this was season 1, it was about the transition into pre-K. And we are happy to report that he is
He's
thriving
doing
there.
great. It was the
He
right
is
decision.
It was absolutely the right decision. We went with our gut, which was telling us that he needed more stimulation. He was bored. He wanted to be challenged, and he's learning a ton. And
It's
he's
wild.
only been there like,
Since August 5th. So
yeah, but even that was broken up
yeah.
because of all the different
Yeah.
transitions. So he's only been there like maybe a month,
Maybe a month.
maybe.
I think what's cool too is one of within that transition, another transition was moving his centers,
Right.
right, for ABA, and that's nerve-wracking because our first place that we went to was amazing,
And if you
supported him
listen
so
to our
well.
episode on ABA, you can,
Yeah, refer back to those,
yeah,
but that was a big concern. But we've been so happy. It's different, but I actually think it's what he needs.
yeah, I agree.
And what they're providing for him has been absolutely amazing. And one example of that is we actually only had him 3 days in pre-K, and then we had one day at the center.
Yep.
And like the second time after the center, he went there. His BCBA who runs his program said, "I don't think he needs this. I think he needs to be in school more. Like
Yeah.
he's bored here. He loves school. He's being challenged. He's learning." And so just like that validated us even more in our decision, and that she was so quick to see that
Mhm.
and to recommend us like, hey, he doesn't need to come to the center. He needs to be in school. That's where he's thriving, and that's where he's going to learn the more and grow the most. And so just that she saw that and said that to us, it's like so validating about our decision to go there, but also how amazing this group is at the new center we're at has just been incredible. So
Yeah.
I think it's just learnings from that is it was an intuition for us. It took a lot of thought, and we went back and forth, but you really know your kids best.
Yeah.
And when you have that intuition, even though when you have an intuition, you're going to make a decision, change is really scary.
It really
And the
is.
unknown, especially with your kids and as kids with special needs, is just like, are we doing the right thing? And whether or not it went the way it's going great, but you're going to learn something. You have to trust your instincts, and you have to follow those instincts. And both our instincts were saying this.
Mhm.
And I think even going to the last day at the center when they graduated him, it felt right the right time too, right? It just felt like the right time. Like he had they had given him everything that he needed at that time, and it was time for him for his next challenge.
Yep.
And
It really felt right.
it felt right, and it's great that it worked out.
Yep.
It doesn't always work out that way in
Yeah.
life, but it's really beautiful that it's worked out, and we're
Yeah.
really happy. And it's early still, right? But it's been great so far.
Yeah, I think another big change that came along with that is now having 4 days
Yeah.
to myself
Hmm.
that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
And that fourth day that Jared just spoke about, originally Jake was at home all day, and I did not have that to myself, so I really only had 3 days. But now I have this extra day, and so now figuring out the structure of that. I mean, now that we're back into the podcast, adding that back in will be absolutely, a part of. It's just like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Right now I can go, but I'm also realizing that there's so many other things I'm doing in between the day. It's not like I'm just like, oh, it's free. I can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, the dryer broke. I need to call this person. Oh, I have to do this scheduling. Oh, I have to pick up this kid. So it's not like it's free, but
Yeah. I
I,
think it's a balance. I think what I've always been excited for you is two things is getting time for yourself because we actually talked about this in therapy tonight. You've always put energy in others first, especially me and the kids and all these other things that your personal journey is really important and you're in the midst of it. And this is giving you that opportunity. That's both not just personally, but you really want to get back into your workout routine and doing things for yourself so you feel good. So I'm really excited for that. And then, yeah, it feels more clear on who you are and how you want to show yourself to the world through writing and recording and things like that. And so I think you're a very creative person, but you never had those chunks of time to be creative.
right.
And I'm really excited to see what comes out of that for you. So I think it's really exciting and a big opportunity. If you guys don't follow Nick, follow her. Like her stuff's great. She's been writing a lot and putting a lot of stuff out there. And I think it's beautiful. So I think go follow Nick on her socials at Nikki Sammet.
Yep.
Any other ones? Yeah. Okay.
Nope. Um,
She doesn't like when I talk about her, so
okay. So what have we done over the past 6 weeks?
yeah. I think a big one was we went on our first like real family vacation.
Yep.
As a four with all of us with
We did a trip over a year ago, but it was
yeah.
not,
Sydney was a lot younger, still a baby, not walking, not doing any of that stuff. And
this felt
I
like a real,
just
it
felt like
was a
a
beach. Like it just felt like
yeah,
a
beach.
first.
Both kids are mobile, moving, and a big piece of that was we had both sets of our parents, all of us, them four, us two, our two kids, all eight of us in a house together for a week, which has never happened before. So that was a learning experience. That might be an episode, all of itself, but it's just so interesting to see I haven't spent that length of time like yeah I guess we have but it was just interesting to see the difference between our parents how we're different because of who our parents are but also how we are different from them and that was just I mean
And they're different from each
and
other.
they're different from each other and then how all those dynamics played out I think it
Hmm.
was really cool we'll probably have an episode of that coming out soon just learning about generation things passing down from you, what you learn from your parents, how you become who you are, and then you get in a relationship with someone else that's coming from a different background, different parents, raised differently, and then how that impacts your relationship and how you choose to be in a relationship and raise your children. So it was fun to watch. We always say because we didn't know how it was gonna, you don't know, right? But we've had experience with them together, and I always say like to Nick, it can be stressful at times, like it just is, right? Um, saying like just pretend it's a movie. Let's watch this movie. These are actors in a movie, and let's just watch the dynamic play out. And it was fun, and but it also taught us about our partnership because we really came together really close on that trip. The trip was actually really awesome for a bunch of reasons. Great environment, great house. It all worked out. Everyone got along. It was fun but like our partnership throughout that for each other during that time like we learned a lot how to support each other in times like that we're our own team and that team is really important and I think that's what actually made it a really successful trip is just how we navigated that and the challenges and when we didn't want to do something we didn't do it we were vocal so yeah
What do you think prepared us to be in such a team mentality?
yeah I think we've learned in our day to day how to be a team
Hmm.
and what that looks like I think we kind of prepped before saying, hey, like, I kind of said, like, hey, yeah, we're all in the same house and we're all on the same trip, but there's no set agenda. Like, yeah, we're gonna
Hmm.
go to dinners a couple night, but this trip's kind of for everybody. Let everyone manage their own schedule. Like, some of us went out to the beach early, some came later, some came back early, right? Some people never wanted to go out there on a day. So I think not the expectation we all have to be together at the same time. Even me and you could be doing different things, which we did that everyone can do their own thing. We're all live in the same house and on the same trip, but it doesn't mean everything has to be the same for everybody. And if somebody wants to do something, or we're just like tired and want to get away and do something, like we're gonna go do it,
Yeah.
right? And make those choices. What about you? Anything that
Well,
you learned?
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say like I think our partnership was strengthened based off the fact we've been couples therapy,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah,
we've been
but
doing the
all the work, all
podcast,
the
we've been
work.
doing all the work that
Yeah.
prepared us to manage stress
Yeah.
that came in. I didn't really feel that stress. I felt for the first time in years that I felt I was able to unplug in a different way than like just getting away with girlfriends or you and I. Well, we haven't had a trip with both kids or without both kids.
Soon.
Soon we're gonna be on a trip. But the thing is like when you go away, I'm with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
If I go away, like I'm still thinking about what's at home
Yeah.
because my kids are with you and like where they're doing their thing. If we both leave, then the kids are with somebody else.
So you're
So
still
I'm
thinking
thinking
about
about
it.
that.
Yeah.
But for the first time, everybody was together.
Yeah.
Everybody, your
Yeah.
parents, my
So the people
parents,
who'll be watching the kids if you
everyone
weren't
was
there.
together. I just felt like I didn't have to think about the daily to-dos, the emails, the Medicaid, the
School.
therapies, the school. Like I just was able to really be free from those thoughts. And coming back was really challenging. I think coming back from trips in general was really hard. Being ADHD as well, like transitions, I realized for me, transitions for me in the sense of like switching in the middle, I can grapple with that. It's more so like change
Mm-hmm.
is really challenging for me to like manage my mood, my like overwhelm, like that really becomes stressful for me. But now it's been weeks.
Yeah, I think for me too, like I really separated myself. Like I felt very similar. Like
Yeah.
I didn't look at work. Like I went in maybe twice just to like star a few emails so that I could just not have to look at anything else when I got back and I had something. But I don't know a lot. I felt like I actually like fully for that length of time,
Yeah.
just I didn't even think about work. I didn't even
But do you
worry
think it's
about it.
because we have the kids, or do you think it's because you haven't had a vacation in years?
Yes,
The last.
to both. Like I wanted to be present and enjoy myself, and I put myself in a position where, it wasn't gonna nothing. Rome wasn't gonna go down if I wasn't responding to things, and I set myself up. I have a great team that supports me, and the things I needed help taking care of, made sure people knew, and I have a great support team. Like we're on it. Don't worry about it. Don't look at your email. We're not gonna contact you. And I just felt I could really disconnect from like the day to day and the routine you get in and all those things. It's like I get up, I go to the gym, I go to work, I come home, hang out with the kids, make dinner, make their lunches for the next day, right? We have
Mm-hmm.
dinner, all that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like just to break that a little bit felt really nice. It felt nice to break that and not feel like I had to be on a specific schedule. Like kids could get up when they wanted to get up. We
Mm-hmm.
could get up when,
So
sometimes
do
when we
you
want to get
feel
up.
like it's important to do it more often, or do you think that it's too challenging?
Um, I mean, if you can, I think it'd be great. I think if you think about like we were talking about Jake, like for the last 2 years, he has not had a break that long from any kind of therapy or any kind of school or anything like that. So for him to have like really no demands or like he could just be like the kid thrive. Let's just talk about that. Like he's an Aries baby. He's a water
He's
baby.
a Pisces
He's a
baby.
Pisces baby, which means water baby. Nikki's an Aries. Um, but that kid I thought I loved the ocean. No, like I was probably either 3 to 4 hours every day just because he could not leave. He was hesitant to go in like the first day, and then he touched the water and he got in, and then he was trying to go out as far as he could, was diving into under waves at
There's a
the end of
shark.
it. Yeah, he got stung by a jellyfish.
Yep.
10 seconds, like, all right, back in it. I'm back in it. That was just it was just cool to have experiences that we haven't got to share with both of them. Like when you have new experience, their first time, really like Jake had been to the beach, but it was so young. But the sand and the water, and just like, wow, we're gonna be in a pool all the time, and all our families here. Like I think that was just cool to be able to do that with all of them and with our family. I think it was a
Hmm.
really cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt great.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else you got on the list from there?
Um, what to expect this
Ooh,
season?
what to expect. So a lot of the same. You're gonna hear more about our relationship and how we navigate that, things we're learning through parenting experiences, things happening in our life. You're going to hear more about us on our personal development journeys. The one main difference that you'll probably see this season is you're going to hear a little bit as individuals from me and Nikki. We're going to do some solo podcast each month that you're going to hear. just, we're on our own personal journeys. And I think it's cool from each of our perspective, Nikki, and also her being female, me being male, and how we navigate our own personal journeys. Also, how we navigate maybe some topics we talk about, but we'll talk about more specifically through our individual lens and what that looks like. So, um, we felt that that would be a really cool thing just to hear each month our own perspectives on certain things and the journeys we're on and what we're learning and things that we want to share and think that would be meaningful and helpful. So I think we're really excited about just getting an opportunity to share our individual voice and collective voice when we do these together. So that'll be something new. Anything else that you got?
Oh,
No?
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day if we were gonna ever have guests.
Yeah, I think we will.
We definitely
I
will.
think we will. I think right now, I think what we like about the podcast is our growth through it and our
Mhm.
conversations and still learning from each other. And I think eventually we'll get to a point where we want to bring on people that can share more expertise than we can because our expertise is through experience a lot of the time where other
Mhm.
people just have whether that's research and other things, because we do want to pull more of some of the topics we're talking about, like giving you guys like data and research, because we find value in that ourselves when we make decisions or learn about things. I'm a very data objective. I want to know if I'm going to jump into something or do something that there's data behind it to show validity to it. I think you feel very similar.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
She's an insane researcher. She's an awesome researcher. So I think we want to bring more of that into the conversations, and then just continue hopefully having very clear takeaways and actions. I think what we learned in the first season is I think we're really good at the banter back and forth. I really want to make sure we hone in and make sure that our audience and you guys are leaving with just, hey, here's what you can take away, and then we hope you take a nugget or two every once in a while that you find valid and find worth maybe implementing in your life or having that conversation with your spouse or learning something new. So, yeah, I think we're really excited just to jump back in, share more, and continue to get better at this craft.
Yeah.
As it's fun. It's cool because we have to learn. Like we're on a learning journey of how to do this. I think that's been fun too. It's like got new lighting. We figured that out. Took a while. Like
Mhm.
just watching from the beginning of season one till now, that dinner table or the first recordings and stuff like that's been we've already grown a lot in
Yeah.
when we start
March,
March. Yeah,
April 1st.
April 1st. So it hasn't even been that long. It's been 6 months.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine, where we plan to get to and what we can get to in the next 6 months.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, season 2.
Season two, again, we're super excited to be back with you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment,
Share.
share.
Share
I
the
think
story with a friend.
yeah, share it with a friend, and then I think really just share topics and things that you're on top of mind for you. I think that really helps us. We got a lot of that, a lot of the content that we shared from last season came from people just writing in on things that resonated with them or things they wanted to talk about. So Nikki keeps recording me because we're gonna get more on the feed and the socials, seeing some more stuff from us, and we're actually gonna try to do more of this. Getting not just hearing us from video on this, but maybe sharing some more content on our platforms of day-to-day life of the Sammets. What do you think, Nick?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. Looking forward to this journey and continuing it with you.
So join us every Tuesday for a new episode talking about marriage, partnership, parenting, personal development, and the human experience.
Yep. And all platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on Apple,
Spotify,
Spotify.
iHeartRadio, anywhere you can.
iHeartRadio. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Have a great night.
Bye.